Welcome back to the channel, everyone, where we are once again going to take a look at the creepiest TikToks. So let's have a look.
What is the Black Knight satellite? Take a look at these photographs. NASA say they captured this image of a mysterious black object orbiting the Earth in 1998 during the first space shuttle mission to the International Space Station. They refer to this strange entity as a numbered item with no name in their catalog of space junk floating in low Earth orbit. Jerry Ross, an astronaut who took part in that mission, says that the object is a thermal blanket that broke loose while his team tried to attach an American module to a Russian module on the ISS. But for some, it's an ancient artificially made satellite known as the Black Knight satellite. So could this object really have come from ancient aliens? Or is it just a piece of space debris? It first got a mention in this paper and news article in 1960. And if it's the same one, it can't be a thermal blanket dropped in 1998. Many experts and amateurs have been picking up signals from it, and they estimate it to be 13,000 years old. This is the most recent photo. Taken from the International Space Station, the man who took it said it came into view in a window. But soon after they turned off the live feed, many think this is the signal Tesla said he was picking up from outer space came from. There is an interesting interview with author Billy Carson on here and YouTube that is well worth a listen. I don't believe it's a blanket, and it's an intriguing mystery.
There's this object orbiting Earth. It's on NASA's server. It's estimated 15 tons. They won't mess with it because it makes no sense to mess with it. You don't know what type of self-defense system or mechanism this thing may have. It's estimated to be there for 13,000 years. And how we get this number is the NSA analyzed the signal from it. A couple of astrophysicists analyzed the signal, and some ham radio operators back in the 50s also got the same signal, all independent, came up with the same translation, decoding of the signal, that it was saying it was from the Epsilon Boötis constellation. Time magazine picked this up in 1960. Then I saw some reports of it following Sputnik, when Russians sent Sputnik to orbit the moon and come back. And I said, this thing has course correction. Then they discovered that it was in a polar orbit. It had changed course and went into a polar orbit, something we couldn't do until just recent times. In order to create a lot of the megalithic structures that you've seen, like the pyramid complexes and everything else, you need a polar orbit.
The Black Knight satellite there, that's something that's always fascinated me ever since I first read about it a few years ago. Very strange object. Strange that NASA won't really kind of explain what it is. I think they really know what it is, to be honest with you. I don't think there's any way that this thing is a blanket of any description, a thermal blanket. It doesn't look like one. Doesn't look like one at all. I think the 13,000-year-old sort of estimate of its age has been debunked. I think there was a bit of confusion in the signals, and they sort of filled in the gaps themselves and came up with this 13,000 years. So I think that's kind of been debunked. But there's no real way of telling how long this thing has been there, what it's actually doing. The one thing I find really interesting is the polar orbit, that it's managed to get this polar orbit. None of our satellites have got polar orbit. They all sort of spin around the equator that sort of way, and this one's going the opposite way. So that's interesting to me. So wonder what it is. Is it something watching us? Has been watching us for however long we've been evolving for? Is there something that's sending data back to somewhere else? Yeah, it's a strange one. Maybe one day we'll find out the answers. Maybe it will communicate with us. Perhaps we'll communicate with it somehow.
Bro, Black Hawk helicopters. In the same direction that ship was flying, from over there to that way.
intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
And so, Carl, that is quite a bold statement. I'm wondering, and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
And Carl, what evidence have you seen? What was the moment where you developed this level of conviction?
So let's take a look at the data. So we can look at some folks that have very high level access to information, like Paul Hellyer, who was the defense chief for Canada, has come out and said the same thing. We can look at Ham Eshed, the head of Israel's, or former head of Israel's Space Force, has said the same thing. Chris Mellon, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Intel.
There's no way. The planes don't look anything like that.
No, that's not a freaking plane. That's crazy.
It's not even. Look at how blurry it is.
And the way that it's like moving up.
What the fuck is going on?
No, like legit.
No,
What?
because this is exactly what people have been seeing the past couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it like a circle?
That's crazy.
It's like flapping its wings or something.
Oh
What if it
my
just, like, blows
god.
up?
It's not going to.
You don't say.
Why does it now just look like a freaking plane though?
And now it's like going farther.
It literally is like
into
disappearing.
the
It's like a space station or something. Oh, it's gone.
What's right there? Take a picture! Take a picture!
I'm taking a video.
Take it! Mama! Okay. It's scary. It's a UFO.
Yeah, because everyone's like, it's not foggy outside, but it looks fucking foggy around it.
Yeah, it looks like a UFO.
Like that's not normal. That's not an airplane. There's no clouds out in the sky.
We gotta run.
Pretty quick, too.
We gotta run like the UFO. Come on, we gotta run.
Like, what is that? Look, and it just disappeared.
No,
What is that?
it's a UFO. I know.
That was for sure a UFO. Oh my god. It just disappeared.
I know I want a UFO.
That was magic.
I know why. I know.
Few more UFO videos there. I think some of them look a bit AI generated to me, to be honest with you. The ones that really stand out there are the Phoenix, Arizona UFO sightings. This was something that was filmed by multiple people, seen by hundreds of people. Very strange, this one. It's always good when there's a mass of people that observe these things. I think it makes it a lot more credible. So yeah, hopefully we'll have another mass sighting of something very soon. There's some good ones there.
A viewer sent in an odd video of something he captured on his Unify security camera. One camera in his apartment faces out of the window overlooking a fire escape to be sure no one breaks in his home. The camera facing out of the window has a nice view of the adjacent building rooftops and the city sky. One day, when reviewing his footage, he notices something strange. An ominous shadow figure of what appears to be a human standing on the ledge of the building to the right. But then, as he plays the footage, it does this. It almost looks like it swims away towards the sky. The viewer was convinced that this was an angel or possibly some sort of otherworldly being. But what do you guys think this was? Possibly an insect on the outside window or something of a more paranormal nature? Please let us know your thoughts down below in the comments.
I just want to start this video by crediting Becky and Williams, who's got her own TikTok channel and got this video on there, and I'm going to put a link to her TikTok channel in the description and comments. Now, Becky caught what could be a possible ghost sighting, and it's of this strange ghostly looking shadow. She caught it on a CCTV camera in a street in the UK. I don't know what it could be, I can't explain what it could be, but it's very weird.
These couple of security camera footage, they're quite interesting. These they look like almost like a black mist kind of thing. I'm wondering whether these are sort of connected to these now these are a couple of interesting security camera footage. These things kind of look like a bit of a black mist. Wondering whether they're connected to the plasma entities that we've been looking at the last few videos. These are strange. They don't look like they've been faked, altered at all. Yeah, they're good. I like these ones. Hopefully find a few more. But yeah, I'm a bit curious to find out some more. But it's interesting that they're on security camera. They don't really look like they've been tampered with at all. They look quite good. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see a few more of these.
In the remote desert of Utah, sometime between 2015 and 2016, a strange artifact appeared out of nowhere. Standing at 3 meters tall, the structure was made of a shiny silver metal and was firmly planted in the ground. Suddenly, on November 27, 2020, it disappeared, leaving everybody scratching their heads. But it gets even stranger. On the same day it vanished, another metal monolith appeared in Romania. This one seemed different. It was not as shiny, had some strange indentations or inscriptions on it and puncture marks. And then on December 1st, it disappeared. On December 2nd, a third monolith was discovered on top of Pine Mountain in Atascadero, California. And then another in the Netherlands and yet another in the Isle of Wight. The latest one appeared 3 weeks ago, on a hilltop in Wales. And if you think that's strange, there have been at least 80 of them appear since 2020 all over the world.
I remember when this first occurred, this 2015, about this first monolith appearing in the desert. I thought it was quite strange when it occurred. I knew that it had disappeared, and I remember another one appearing somewhere else, but I've not heard since then of any other ones appearing. They do remind me of the film 2001: Space Odyssey. They've got that kind of that vibe going on with the monoliths. Yeah, it's fascinating. I've not. This is the first time I've heard that there's been more appearing. It's either something very strange going on, or a really, really good PR stunt that's taking its time. But yeah, it's strange, very interesting. I'd like to. I don't think anybody's ever seen them sort of appear. Nobody's claimed to have put them there. So, is this another thing like crop circles that we'll find out that a lot of them have been faked or things like that? But yeah, that's very strange that these are appearing. I wonder if they're appearing more regularly than they were before. Yeah, as I say, it was the first time I've heard that more of them have appeared, so I'm going to have to investigate some further and see if there's any more appearing around the world. But yes, again, that's something strange that they're appearing in different countries. They're not just stuck in one country, they're appearing all over the world. And nobody's seen them be put up, so I don't know, strange. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled to see if there's any more. If you've seen of any more, heard of any more, let me know down in the comments, please.
So these tablets, what are they called again?
Are you talking about the Sumerian Kings list?
Can you show me that, Jamie? Yeah. I want to see what that looks like.
It's a giant four-sided tablet located in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, England.
This is it right here?
That's it right there. Those are all 4 sides.
And how old is this?
Oh, this is, they're saying 6,000, but...
Can you make it bigger, Jamie?
Believe me, it's much older than that. This is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy over tens of thousands of years, in my opinion. But this text gives the reigns of kings in shars. S-H-A-R. A shar is 3,600 years. So one shar would be 3,600. See, 241,000 years of rule.
Whoa.
On that stone right there.
The Sumerian Kings list.
Yeah.
Now, if this is right, if this is all true, what a mind-blowing idea that humans have been around, that were engineered hundreds of thousands of years ago. and that this is the reason why there's this bizarre shift between lower primates and us.
I found this video just before I was going to start filming for this episode, so I don't know too much about this. I've not really looked into this. But I always enjoy watching Billy Carson's videos. I think he's great. I've not heard of these God tablet things before. I've heard of the emerald tablets, which are linked to the Anunnaki and things like that. But this is the first time I've heard of these tablets. It still baffles me that anyone can translate this Sumerian language. It's such an old language. But yeah, I'm going to look into this a bit further and try and find out some more facts, see if there's anything different to what Billy Carson's talking about. Maybe some of this has been a bit debunked. I'm not sure, but this would be something interesting to read into. So I'll let you know.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in?
Oh boy, do I have one for you. I believe that ancient civilizations were actually more advanced than we are today. And the reason why we don't have any hard physical evidence of it is because they lived in accordance with the earth. They didn't produce any non-biodegradable waste. Their science was based off of what was already provided by the earth, and they were much more consciously aware. But the biggest part of the conspiracy is I think that the people in power right now, they know this and they won't tell the public, because then we'll start living like these ancient civilizations did, and the system at which these powerful people gain more power will crumble.
I think what this lady's saying in this video is bang on the money. I think this is something I've totally believed for quite a while, that these ancient civilizations didn't really leave too much of a footprint because they didn't use things like plastics or any non-biodegradable materials. Everything was used from the earth. Yeah, I can totally get behind this theory. Energy was free. It came from things like the pyramids. I've spoke about Nikola Tesla before. These pyramids, he thought the pyramids were sort of power generators, and he actually built one and it worked. And because of it, he was sort of cast aside. Everyone said it was a fraud. He lost all of his money and sort of basically died bankrupt because people in power didn't want everybody to know about these technologies that existed before, where we had free energy. So yeah, I totally agree with this lady on this video. I think she's 100% correct. I think this is the way it was. I think the ancient civilizations knew far more than we did, and for one reason or another, they ceased to exist, which is a shame. I think, we could have learned so much from them, and we probably still can, but we're just not allowed to because we'll have things for free. Okay, I'm going to wrap that one up for tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. It'd be great if you can. We'll try and do this a couple of times a week, a few times a week. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, and see you on the next one.